Welcome to Jay's Daily Pre-Market Briefing for March the 9th, Friday, 2018. As we noted yesterday, it is rollover time, so be aware of the volume switching. Technically, we haven't switched over on the volume on the ES yet, or on the Nasdaq and YM. So I will do the levels still based on the and the outlook based on that, but keep in mind that as we go into Friday, that will probably change. So you'll want to have a market analyzer if you're using NinjaTrader or some other platforms analyzer to make sure that you're on the right contract. It will probably change once we head into the U.S. session or sometime during the U.S. session. But for now, it looks like it's still on March, so I'll still do the video based on that. So starting off with 6J, 6J moving down below our zone that was around 94,400. So once we got below that 94,335, big move down just as our arrows were suggesting, and right to the 93,645. So for Friday, looking at this, that is the key, 93,645 for further downside action. So potentially look for a retracement back up to 94,335 to 94,430. That's an area to definitely consider a short unless we get above it. Then we'll be heading back up to the 95,000s and beyond. If we continue below with little retracement, look to short off of 93,645. And for Friday, the targets would be 93,080 or 92,445. If we do go to the upside, your first target above that 94,430 would be 95,065 and 95,125. That zone, the break of that, you'd be looking at 95,610 on the yen. Looking at the YM, nice pull back into this level yesterday, this area 24,701, pretty much 701 to the tick, looks like, and then up to these next minor levels 24,920 to 24,998. So for today, assuming the upside continues, targets are going to be 24,998, 25,185, and 25,410. If we get back below 24,701, you've got your targets of 24,572 and 24,341. That's what I'd be expecting to be happening on Friday on the YM. Moving on to the bonds. Bonds, again, really not doing much, which is kind of a surprise after we had the ECB announcement and the interest rate statement, as well as the press conference with Draghi. But the bonds keep in a pretty tight range here. So again, the 42s, 42, 17, 12, and 06, key areas for the support. And then to the upside, we got to get back above 144.01. If we do, targets would be for Friday 145.14, 145.24. And to the downside, those 142s. If it really got trucking, then maybe that 141.10, which is just below the February low. Moving on to Nasdaq. Nasdaq doing what we expected it to do. We, it looked like it might play around in the 57.50 to 48 quarters area, back and forth, and it did. And then we get the move up and through that 69.04 quarter, and we go right to a minor level 69.94. Pretty much to the tick, and we do have some additional targets. So for today, the targets to the upside I'd be looking for 70.19 quarter and 70.74 quarter. If it really gets trucking, then into the 7100s, a couple levels up there. If we get back below 68.57 half, then I would definitely be looking the target of 67.48 quarter and 30 quarter, and possibly the level just below 6,700. Moving over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin finally breaking our key zone of support, 91.10. Look for this area to potentially initiate shorts off on Bitcoin, 91.10 to 15. If we get a retest, that's probably going to be a good area to take shorts off of. The 38% retracement of that move down from the 20,000 area all the way down to the 6,000. That 38% retracement came in quite critical. 2 tests of it, and both failed. And we finally gotten below that important zone. So for today or the next few days, I think most people are probably position trading Bitcoin, although some of you might be day trading. But the key levels for today would be that 95.15, 91.10, and then to the downside 74.95 and 5.815 on Bitcoin. If it does really get trucking to the downside, as I said, I'm looking at much lower numbers below 5,000, 16.45 and 3.05 to the downside if it really gets going down there. But for now, essentially the zone that we'd want to be looking at, support down there, that 52.45, 5.815, and the upside here, resistance 95.15, 91.10. But overall, I'll stick with my big down arrow and expect Bitcoin to continue to move down. Move along to the euro. Surprisingly, not a ton of action. It was a decent. There was some decent movement yesterday on the euro, but nothing hugely unexpected. And we come right into this 23,310 area. So again, the zone just below that, 22,410 to 115. Or pardon me, 22,480 to 115. That's the key zone of support. However, if 2310 holds, continue to look for upside action with an expectation that over the next few sessions we at least get into the 26s, if not the 27s. So for today, upside targets 2416, 25,380, and then to the downside, assuming we stay below 2310, look for 24,480 and 22,115 as targets for today on the euro. Moving on to gold. Gold's really failing to get some traction. It's kind of surprising to some degree. However, central banks have signaled that they're willing to raise interest rates at this point, or at least wait and see. So it seems that they're pulling out of the emergency area measures overall, or at least forecasting to do that, depending on which central bank you're looking at. And so gold, at this point, still failing to get a significant bid, and in spite of trade war talk, and the political scene has calmed down quite a lot. And in fact, something is needed to be done on the trade front to address the global imbalances that come from China's continued policy of weakening, having a weak currency. So that created a lot of problems and was one of the factors that led to the financial crisis. And so it's good that these things are finally being addressed head on, and we're doing that in an environment that is much stronger than previously. So for today on gold, the key zone of support, as we mentioned before, 13.14.7 to 0.77. Below that, look for it to go into the 1280s and 1270s. So for today, that's the key area, the 13.077 to 14.7. If it gets below that, your targets are 97.5, 88.8, and 78.1. To the upside, if we get back above 1330.1, then ultimately 1368.2 should be in play, because if we break those two minor highs there around that 1340, it should really get trucking. But for today, upside target 1330.01 or 1368.2 on gold. Finally, moving to the crude oil market. Crude oil getting below, came in, got a nice bounce from the 60.54 to 60.81 zone, bounced up quite a bit from that, and then continued the downtrend, and we're below that level. So targets for today, 50.27, and over the next few days, 58.72 and 57.84. If we do get back above 60.81, look for a retest of 62.10 and 62.69. So that's your daily pre-market briefing going into Friday. As I mentioned earlier, keep in mind it's rollover. If you're looking for order flow tools, mentoring, or you have a question, feel free to reach out to me. You'll see the contact information as well as the links at the end of this video, and the things that I've been discussing in terms of guest speakers and other exciting things that are coming up. Those are going to be coming up quickly now in the next few weeks. Look forward to continuing to serve you and have you on this channel. If you like what you're seeing, please like the video, subscribe, and share with your friends on social media. Trade well, control risk, and we'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.